Now, let's talk about what do you mean by growing the right and responsible way. As a regulator, we can only go up to a point when we can create frameworks, we can create do's and don'ts, we can create penal provisions and so on. But when it comes to some misconduct which happens on the ground, we are not there. And in that sense, our job becomes post facto reactive, and you can't help it. So we can go up to a point. What we need is, while we grow, while we celebrate, we should also focus on effective self-regulation. And that's what we are trying to do with MFI. That's where culture and ethics becomes important. Effective gatekeeping, role of auditors, internal and statutory, role of AMC boards, role of board committees, role of trustees, all this is very important. And outcome-based collaborative. Today I want to focus more on culture and ethics and maybe a little bit about outcome-based collaborative, what I mean by that. So the ethical behavior, how do we strengthen that? There are very good players in the market. I'm not at all trying to suggest that it's a huge issue, it's a huge market failure issue. No, it is not. I'm just trying to suggest that while we grow, let's also continue to strengthen our systems so that there are no accidents. There's no loss of trust of investors who are reposing faith in the industry. So culture is a very abstract, amorphous terms. It means different things to different people, but we need to break it down. What exactly does it mean, especially in the context of the mutual fund industry? Generally, it is referred to the way of doing things, it drives conduct, it shapes decisions and actions at every level. And also, culture, sometimes it gets confused that you have a good value statement running into number of pages and people sign on it, some codes of conduct, but that does not necessarily ensure that that is the culture of the organization. Culture of the organization is, what is the core of it? What employees view as acceptable behavior. You may have reams of paper, but there could be a huge disconnect between what is practiced and what is preached. So in that sense, it's very important to identify that point. But if you ask me personally, if I can describe just in one line, it is doing the right thing in the right manner. So, if you're just conscious of that, I'm doing the right thing and I'm doing it in the right manner. So both ends and means are sort of taken care. And very often, we've seen so many scams and crises world over, even the global financial crisis. If you ask me, if you drill down deeper into the reasons for global financial crisis, you will probably identify that it was a huge ethical failure on part of the people who were selling those, the products which were designed to harm the investors, which were missold to investors and caused huge losses to investors. But very often, as it happens, we shoot the messenger, but we don't address the root cause. There was very little discussion on the ethical failures or on the ethical dimensions of the crisis. A lot of other reforms happened. So root cause often is ethical issues, ethical culture, which is not much talked about. And key to ensuring that investor interests are prioritized over short-term gains could be just one guidepost as a part of the culture the AMCs and the distributors and the rest of the stakeholders would like to emphasize.